What's up, bitches and hoes? Bitches and hoes. This is the new, improved Anabolic Academy. I'm just waiting for Jason Arntz to get back and come on and jump on with us. And then we were going to jump right into some questions. I started Anabolic Academy when I first started the channel, and for some reason, it just wasn't doing well. But I always wanted an informative an informative part of the show where people could learn about bodybuilding and so on and so forth, right? So I started Anabolic Academy. What's up, Big J?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. We're live.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just explaining to the one person that's watching right now that.
Hey, hold on, hold on. Let me just hear you.
No, take your time. So I started Anabolic Academy when I first started the channel, and it just wasn't doing well. I wasn't getting many views, so I decided to stop it. But then I was like, what if I just do a new and improved Anabolic Academy and to bring somebody on that's really good? So that's when I contacted Jay, and I was like, do you want to do it with me? And of course, he said yes, and here we are.
We said yes.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
She said yes. It's like,
Yeah. I really appreciate you doing this with me, though, dude. Seriously.
I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me just. My wife is in the video. She does not want to be in the video.
Oh, my wife can't stand that either. Before we get started, I just want to say one thing. All right. The channel is growing. Okay. It's growing. I get more views than I have subscribers, which is fine. But hit that subscribe button. But I've gotten a couple of DMs. I've gotten a couple of messages and so on and so forth. So I just want to say this before we get started. Jason Arntz is my friend. He will always be my friend. He will always be part of Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Even if Jason Arntz decides one day he does not want to be part of Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding, he will still be my friend.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter what your opinion is. I don't care what your opinion is, because I value friendship more than, viewers' opinions, unless it's a good opinion. But if your opinion is I should, get rid of somebody, then go screw yourself. That's up to me and the person that's on here. So just letting you know, Jay's not going anywhere. Okay? That's it. Unless he wants to. And if he wants to, we're still fucking friends. That's how it goes.
Why, I get some bad reviews or something?
No, it's just, people saying stupid shit. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of Instagram questions. And then I want to get into some peptides, because everybody's talking about peptides, and I don't know much about them, so I wanted to get into it. But first, this segment of Serious Silliness Bodybuilding Anabolic Academy is brought to you by one sponsor only, and that is I Prevail Subs. And that's why I'm that's why I'm wearing the t-shirt. And you can go to www.i-prevailsubs.com. Your discount code is SNS, the sign end, SNS10. Get you 10% off, and believe me, you will not be disappointed.
Right.
All right. You want to just jump us? I got 2 Instagram questions, and then we could jump into peptides.
Yeah.
The first question is actually from the 2 questions from the same person. Vigar, I'm sorry, man. I can't pronounce your last name. I know you've been watching my show forever, but I can't pronounce your last name. What pre-workout would be recommended for someone who trains for 45 to 50 minutes a day and wants to be able to recover without being stimmed out of my mind for hours after their workout?
Okay. Want me to get that one?
Yeah. This is
so funny, Vigar, that you should mention that. My Forge Pump is a non-stim nitrous oxide loaded pump pre-workout, which is what they're called nowadays. It has 1,000 milligrams of lion's mane, so you will not get a caffeine rush or crash or jitters or anything like that. You will get extreme focus from the lion's mane mushroom extract, which yields a high amount of nootropics. So you do get that good focus. There's 7 different pathways of delivering blood flow, so it's great for boosting your pump, which in turn gives you better recovery. Blood flow is what heals everything. Without proper blood flow, blood will not get to the working muscles or to recover or repair But on top of that, you get a load of hydration. You get a load of non-stimulants, but the nitrous oxide ingredients you get from different sources. So not only do you get the aromatase blend from your citrulline and agmatine sulfate, but you get nitrates from the nitro rocket from the beetroot. You get glycerol, so you get a water absorption in the muscles from the glycerol content. You get better blood flow from the taurine. On top of that, there's pine bark extract, the mentoflavone, which enriches the calcium levels of your muscles so they contract harder, which in turn pulls more blood in. So there's all these different pathways of delivering better blood flow in this pre-workout. Now, you could take it with a stim. I prefer it alone. I'm not into the stims anymore. I'll do a quarter of a scoop of my Rogue, which has a full scoop is about 278 caffeine. I don't need much of that anymore. So the pump pre-workouts is really where it's at, and it's better for recovery. People want to get stimmed out of their mind, but that doesn't aid in your training. It doesn't aid in recovery, and it doesn't aid in endurance.
Yeah. And that obviously you can get at I-Prevail subs. And what was it? It was the Rogue Pro.
That's the Rogue X. That's the stim one. But that's got pump and nootropics in it also.
Okay, so the Rogue Pro is the one that I use, right? And then the one you were just talking about is the Rogue X.
No, that's the Rogue X is the one you use.
Okay, the Rogue X is the one I use.
The Forge Pump is the pump pre-workout. That's the non-stim.
Okay. All right, cool. Now the other question. Now I wouldn't be able to give you that fucking answer if I tried. So the other question is, he wants to know what's the perfect post-workout meal.
I like going to a quick, easy digested whey protein isolate or hydrolysate. Both of them get absorbed within 30 to 45 minutes, so it gets right into your. People. We've talked about it on the other channel. People shit on that anabolic window. Is there an anabolic window? Absolutely. Do most people need to take advantage of it? Not necessarily, but if you're looking to be a superior athlete and you're looking to, get as much bonus or as much of an advantage as possible, of course it helps. Why wouldn't it? Putting nutrients into your body right after they're going through a traumatic experience, like a heavy training session, it's ideal. So I'd recommend like 50 grams, depending on your body weight, up to 50 grams of a whey hydrolysate or a whey isolate. With a carbohydrate, you could put a banana in there. I use 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal. Some people like the faster absorbing carbohydrates, like a cluster dextrin or cyclic dextrin, or even a waxy maize, which is kind of outdated, but those are the carbohydrates. It get pulled in immediately and help replenish glycogen. So something like that is ideal post-workout. Then you have a meal about 2 hours later.
The post-workout shake I was doing when I was competing was 2 scoops of whey isolate, a scoop of carbolin, a scoop of creatine, and a scoop of glutamine. That was my post-workout shake. And that now, do you recommend the shake or do you recommend food?
I like the shake right after because it's it's already digested. It's mixed up, gets right in your bloodstream, gets absorbed right away, and aids to better recovery.
Okay. All right. Well, because a lot of times, I'm not as serious as I was about, bodybuilding, 10, 15 years ago. But a lot of times I'll just hold out and I'll just have a meal when I get home. I agree. You're 100% right. All right. So I wanted to get into peptides because everybody is jumping on this peptide thing. I don't know much about it. I printed out some information. And the 2 most popular ones right now seem to be, well, obviously, the weight loss peptides are very popular. But after that, a lot of them, the 2 most popular ones seem to be TB500 and BPC 157, and people have been using them together.
Yeah.
I printed out some stuff, but what exactly, from your experience, what's the benefit of it? And is there a lot of research? Because it seems like these peptides things seem to be relatively new.
So the BPC 157, which is your body protective compound 157, that's been used for a little bit of time now. There's probably more research on that one and the TB 500 than most others. just because these are all new, you know. But the TB500, that's thymosin beta 4, which also is naturally occurring in the body, but it's in a synthetic form. So the BPC helps your body with tissue repair, cellular repair, tendon repair. It emulates the gastric fluid, which comes from your gastric system, which is used primarily to help your body recover, strengthen your immune system. So it's targeted more for tendons, ligaments, and cellular repair, like muscle repair. The TB500, and they're both anti-inflammatory, so they have really good anti-inflammatory effects. So they break up inflammation, which starts to do damage after a while. Inflammation, it's a touchy subject with some, but inflammation is good. That's why we get inflammation post-training or from an injury, because blood flows to that area. The inflammation gets fresh cells there, helps the body recover. But after a while, that blood needs to flush out. So your anti-inflammatories help get rid of that dead blood, the stuff that kind of lingers and doesn't really bond to the cells to help it regenerate and just gets stagnant. So your anti-inflammatories, they break up free radicals. They get rid of that crappy blood that's been there that's not really helping you recover anymore. And it helps bind fresh blood to the inflamed areas, to the stressed areas. And the TB500 hits it in a slightly different way, where it kind of stimulates your T cells. So it strengthens your immune system, helps fight off bacteria, great health benefits, but it also targets healing in a different version than your BPC, which I said is more cellular.
Okay. And is there a reason why they use these two together, or it just?
Yeah, I mean, there are two compounds that you can use together. They don't counteract one another, as opposed to taking like when BPC first came out, they were promoting it as a pro-inflammatory type of compound that brought fresh blood to the area, which does do that, but it treats it in an anti-inflammatory way where it breaks up the free radicals and the stuff that's not binding to the cell. So, but now there's more studies that suggest both of them have really good anti-inflammatory properties. They can be used together to target rejuvenation and recovery in slightly different ways. It's like taking in two different protein sources.
I got you. Who would be most benefit? Who would benefit the most out of taking this stuff?
Well, dude, I mean, they benefit everybody. You don't have to be a superior athlete or a pro athlete to reap the rewards of any of these compounds. And to be honest, dude, it's peptides. It's like it's an amino acid structure, and it's a protein structure that sends a signal to your brain that tells your brain to react a certain way for a desired response, right? So they could make a peptide for anything. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. And I've seen literature on dozens of them, and I've used dozens of them, and some of the effects are just not so. So it's a quick sale nowadays because they are so popular. And I do believe that taking BPC and TB together is a great start. You just have to trust the source of where you're getting these compounds from, because what I've noticed is now, because they are trying to regulate them, the FDA is trying to regulate them to get them to be prescription only. And when that happens, they come in and they hit all the manufacturing facilities and they make it harder and harder to get these really good raw compounds. So people are getting alternative compounds from different areas of the world, and some of them are just not as effective, or they don't yield the same amount as you would from the original sources. So some of them aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah. So these peptides are not FDA approved.
Well, they're in some of them are none of them are FDA. They're all for research purposes only. A couple of them they're noticing to be really effective. When anything works, dude, the FDA gets a hold on it, dude, and they flag the world. They send a letter to every manufacturing company out there. Oh, we're looking at this. We're going to deem it as a pharmaceutical. You need a license to sell it. You need a license to you need a prescription to take it. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
That's why there's not a lot of research on natural ingredients, because on natural ingredients they can't trademark it, they can't patent it. These types of things, they want to patent them, they want to get their hooks in them so they could sell them to the public and get big pharma involved, and they all make their money.
The side effects, I know there's not as much research as there is with anabolics or growth hormone. The side effects that I read about were basic side effects, inflammation with the spot you inject in.
Yeah, injection site inflammation.
Right.
There's no real literature showing any harmful side effects, specifically with the BPC 157 and the TB 500.
I might start taking it, because I tell you, a lot of the guys that I know that take it are older and getting older, and they get shoulder problems or elbow problems or so on and so forth. I might actually start taking it because of my shoulder. I mean, I don't lift as nearly as heavy as I used to, but I definitely I feel the creaks and the fucking cranks and the pain in the ass pain. It's not like pain that's like annoying kind of pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I'm older than you, so at all.
Do you use any of the peptides? Or
yeah, no? I was using them, especially after my surgery. I used them a couple of years ago, and I did notice I liked them better a couple of years ago. When they were first, not that I don't get any results from them now. I'm not suggesting that, but it's definitely not as prominent as it used to be.
What kind of results did you see when you were taking them most recently after your surgery?
I just noticed, I thought I'd be recovering a little faster.
Yeah.
With the help of the peptides, and just wasn't, and it's some, and there's people are selling now, you could recover 10 times fast. You can't say that, that's just a crappy way to push something to get them to buy off their own peptide website, which is what they're all doing. But it definitely helps, but to what degree? That's every person's different.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. I mean, literally, I can't go through my Instagram without a fucking website popping up for peptides, BPC, TB500, semaglutide.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one for weight loss too. It's
the new one.
It's what do you call it? It's
retatrutide.
No, not that one. It's a portion of the growth hormone peptide.
Oh, the IGF-LR1, LR3?
Yeah, I think so. And they say it's just good for.
And there's a Semarelin or ipamorelin and CJC. There's a bunch of the growth hormone secretagogues they're all peptides,
right?
But they help increase your IGF levels.
Okay. So what's the benefit of actually increasing your IGF levels without the use of growth, if that makes sense? If that question makes sense. Like using these peptides in place of growth hormone.
So you're not going to replace growth hormone, as much as they want to sell you these peptides. Growth hormone, the half-life is only 45 minutes to an hour. So the time it's actually effective in your body is real minimal. Mm-hmm. But you get such a peak, from that hour, you get such an increase that it'll keep your levels sustained for a good 24 hours until you take your next injection. The peptides, the aminopeptides that are all growth hormone or IGF secretagogues, their half-life is even shorter. And you don't get as much of a peak with them as you do a straight IGF LR3 or a 191 amino acid compound like a straight growth hormone.
Okay. So now the other question I had for you is, we talked about you coming out with iPrevail's coming out with their own fiber supplement, and I'm a true believer in fiber. I've been taking Fiberlize, and then once you come out with yours, I'll obviously switch over to yours, but sometimes I take it once, sometimes twice a day, because it just keeps me regular, and it releases the bloat I have on my stomach, because I'm a gassy bastard. I'm always fucking farting and stuff. But what are the other benefits from taking a fiber and the one that you're coming out with? Because you and I talked about the one you're coming out with, and it's really advanced.
Yeah, so we have 7 different sources of fiber, and it's primarily, your soluble fiber with some insoluble fiber also, but primarily your soluble fiber. Has inulin. It has probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, digestive enzymes. What's good about this is that the sources of fiber are unique to what you're really seeing now with what's being sold on the market. But fiber, dude, on top of just great gut health, it stabilizes your blood sugar. It could reduce cholesterol, could reduce blood pressure. And, it's no secret as we get older, our digestive systems don't work the way they used to when we were younger. Not that younger people wouldn't benefit from a good fiber. And plus, people eat shitty.
Yeah.
Most people eat pretty shitty and don't get a good source of fiber, but you don't realize what's bound up in you until you start taking, a good quality fiber product, and it just helps your body release. It brings fluid into your bowels and your colon and just flushes you out, dude, where you feel invigorated.
Yeah. The best is when I tell people to take fiber every day, and they go, I got to take it every day. And I'm like, well, you eat every day, right? I mean, I don't understand. It takes 2 seconds. You put a scoop in and you drink it, and that's really it.
And they taste good. I have an unflavored one coming out. You could mix in your protein shakes. Robert, he could DM me on Instagram and we'll talk.
Yeah, Robert Gabriel has a question. Does Jason offer phone consultations for nutrition coaching questions? I blew a bunch of money with a coach that is an IFBB pro and had an awful experience. Been doing things myself since, but need someone to bounce ideas and need guidance. Can't go down the road of another bad coach again. That is a common theme. I've heard a ton of people go through shit like that.
I hear that every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you want to reach out to Jay, what's your
on Instagram? It's at Jason Arntz or at I_Prevail Sups. Just you can DM me, Robert, and we'll talk. We'll see if we can work something out. But yeah, I could definitely give you some guidance.
All right, cool. And if anybody else is interested in prepping for a show or anything like that, hit Jason up on his Instagram at Jason On's Instagram, or I Prevail. Right?
I_Prevail Subs.
I_Prevail Subs. Right. Shit. Do you still do that? Do you still do coaching? Or
I have a couple, with the business and now I'm getting involved in a few other things and promoting with the kids. I've kept it to a minimum, but I don't mind keeping a few guys in my queue, and guys like that just want advice. That's easy. That's that's an easy fix. So that's stuff I could definitely make and have the time for.
Okay. Venom 123. I'm on 18 IUs of Serostim, 20 IUs of insulin pre and post, and 50 milligrams of Anadrol. Will this make me happy and huge?
Shit, dude.
I almost think you're trolling us, Venom.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about that. 20 IUs of insulin.
So go ahead. What do you think? If that's legit, what do you think?
I think he's out of his fucking mind. That's a lot of insulin, dude. And that's a lot of Serostim.
And you're only 18? Oh, no. Oh, you're on 18 of Serostim. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like, I'm not going to, that's a lot, dude. You need to back that down. And insulin, pre and post, pre-insulin, you're training, which breaks up blood sugar. Then you're taking insulin, which is going to lower your blood sugar. You're going to go into hypoglycemia while you're training. And how are you going to get out of that, dude? You'll end up in the hospital. Then you're doing another 20 IUs post-workout, like when your blood sugar is already depleted. Not a smart move.
Well, what would you recommend if you were to take this situation and adjust it? What would you recommend?
He's 18 years old. No, I don't know.
No, it says I'm on 18.
It depends on there, and that's the thing, dude. You just can't tell somebody what to do. It's like there's so many other factors. How old is he? What does he weigh? What are his goals? Obviously, he wants to be happy and huge, but what does that mean? And 50 mgs of Anadrol. 50 mgs of Anadrol is not going to make you happy. It's going to make you angry.
Yeah, really. You're kidding. And it's going to kill your appetite too. Believe me.
Suppress your appetite. Mild amount of GH, depending on your age, 2 to 4 IUs will suffice. And I'm not a big insulin guy, so I would back off the insulin. If anything, maybe 2 IUs post-workout with your meal and do a fast-acting insulin so it doesn't have a repeat. Kick, like an N or an R or an L. I would do like a Humalog or a Novolog, so it's fast-acting in and out in 45 minutes. And you could reap the benefits of that. And dude, you don't need a lot. You just want to help shuttle the nutrients into your cells. Too much insulin, dude, your body can only retain so much glycogen. When your muscles are filled with glycogen, insulin does not discriminate. It's going to push all that sugar into your fat cells. So if you're looking to get happy and huge by being morbidly obese, you're on the right track. If you're looking to be happy and huge from a bodybuilding big and ripped perspective, you're off track.
All right. One more question. Let's see. Holly said, I don't know any of this shit. I have done
peptides. Jesus Christ.
I've done tesamorelin, CJC, and Imporlin. Frag was the one I was thinking of.
Right. MOTS, SLUPP, 5-amino-1. That's a lot of shit.
And I think there's more. I just don't remember all. Starting Rita this weekend. Can't wait. I don't even know half of it. The Frag was the one I was thinking about, the GH peptide, because I remember Phil Klahar was using that to prep.
Right.
What is tesamorelin? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's another IGF secretagogue. It's in the family of your ipamorelin and CJC. They all help your body spike IGF, growth hormone. The Frag, the MOTS-C, and the MOTS-C is a fat burner. The 5-amino and the SLUPP, those are more fat burning, getting lean type of things.
Okay.
Tesofensine, I'm not. I know that one, but I don't want to give advice on that one right now because I'm not fully.
I don't know what that one is either.
And Retta, still under review, still waiting for the third round of testing results to come back on that. People are saying great things about Retta. I do like Retta for certain things, but at some point you got to realize you're taking a lot of shit here.
Right.
It's a lot to do.
Okay. Last question, because we got a couple of minutes left. From Earl. Oh, it's my friend Earl that I met in Las Vegas. I oftentimes separate cardio workout from lifting and drink protein after lifting. What is recommended after cardio for recovery?
So there's a protein shake after he trains, and then he separates cardio workout from lifting. So it all depends on when you're doing your cardio. If you're doing cardio post-workout, then your post-workout recovery drink is ideal. I think he does the cardio first thing in the morning and does the weight training in after work. I think that's. So if you're doing cardio first thing in the morning, you can do it fasted, so your blood sugar level's low, so you can reap the rewards of kind of burning body fat as a primary energy source, as opposed to burning sugar. If you do cardio after training, your glycogen levels and your sugar levels are already depleted from weight training because it's anaerobic activity. So you could reap the rewards of burning primarily body fat during your cardio session. Then if you do cardio at night, you want to do it after a couple meals that you haven't had carbohydrates. So you want to do it on an empty stomach, slightly depleted, so you can reap the rewards of having low blood sugar. Cardio is like anything else. Anaerobic activity and aerobic activity, they first burn sugar. Aerobic activity, after your sugar levels get to a certain level, you start tapping into stored body fat because your heart rate is continuous. You're continually burning, right? And fat is a good primary energy source during cardio activity. Anaerobic activity, like weight training, anything you stop and go, that's aerobic activity. So your body's going to deplete sugar. Once your sugar levels get depleted, you start breaking up protein. So having a protein drink after your workout is great. And then you want to do your cardio after, that's even better. So, but then go have your meals. After you do your cardio, you targeted stored body fat as a primary energy source, and now you can go have your meals and recover and get ready for the next day.
I know I said last question, the last two questions, but this is actually a good question because I was thinking the same thing. There's another good one from Robert. Serious question. When you're running more than 2 or 3 things, how are these people able to tell what's working, what's not? What if something goes wrong? How do you know what's doing it? 100%. I know it's a question, but I agree. Unless you have used each thing separately, you're not going to know as far as I'm concerned. What do you think, Jay?
No, he's right. It's tough to know, especially when you're trying to, a lot of people, they're in their preps and they're trying to fix something. Like they're not burning fat fast enough. So they lower the carbs, they add more cardio, and they add T3 or Cytomel or clenbuterol or whatever they're adding. And you have 3 or 4 different things that are targeting body fat when you could have done one at a time and say, maybe I just needed more cardio. Maybe I could have just lowered my carbs. Maybe I could have, added T3 or some Clen without having to add cardio or cut my carbs. So when you do too much, you might get a good end result, but you're not going to know how you got there.
Okay. Yeah, I agree completely. All right. That does it for the first episode of the new and improved Anabolic Academy with me and the brain. That's what we should actually, is that Milos's nickname? The brain? I don't know. Me and the brain, Jason Arntz. And this segment of the show is only sponsored by and brought to you by I Prevail Sups. So go get your supplements at i-prevailsups.com. The discount code is S&S10. The link is in the description with the discount code. And that was pretty cool, Jason. Thank you very much. I could not have done that myself.
Thank you. Like and subscribe, everybody.
Hit that subscribe button. All right, Big J. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy.
Later.